let's close it out with your prospect report.
Sure. So quite a interesting week in the prospect world. And again, I'll stick to the stuff that kind of will have an impact of fantasy this year. The first couple should probably already have been acted on. If they haven't in your league, go act on it. Joey Loperfido for the Houston Astros has been called up. He was mashing.
This is your guy. This is your guy.
Leagues. He was mashing. And so again,
he's a good
I don't
looking
expect
fella
him.
Too.
He's so good looking, right?
Yeah.
There's another good looking guy who we'll talk about in just a minute. But I don't expect him to do the same thing he's doing in the minor leagues, but he should absolutely be a productive player and a useful fantasy player. I think he's an add in pretty much every league size and depth, unless it's super, super shallow or something like that. But Loperfido, and the other one is Jordan Beck, who was brought up for the Colorado Rockies. Maybe I'm looking at him in 12s, like deep 12s, definitely 15s, 15s and bigger. Obviously going to Coors is a huge thing, right? Huge BABIP boost, and he's got power, he's got speed, fantasy friendly profile, in a great park. Love Jordan Beck for fantasy. And then the two guys who are on the cusp. The first one, good looking guy, Paul Skeens. We love Paul Skeens, love the mustache, love everything he's doing. And the reason why I bring him up is because he was stretched out to 6 innings in his last start. And so that was kind of, throughout the first part of the year, he's throwing 3 innings. And so now that he's up to 6, I think that's kind of a sign, hey, he's ready for this workload. We're going to bring him up. And
Paul Skeens proof that some guys can have it all.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Continue. Go ahead.
There's talk. I saw someone post earlier today that it looks like he would line up to face actually the Cubs on May 12th. Could be his first.
Well, that
Major
offense
League
is
start.
ass. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, they haven't been
good without Bellinger and Suzuki.
And so maybe this week go get Paul Skeens if he's still available. He absolutely could be. Because people get fatigue holding on to him. I think now is the time when he could come up. And the next one we may not see for a little bit, but keep it on your radar. Maybe from deep league. Cade Horton was brought up to AAA. Again, another guy who's getting stretched out. And with all of these injuries to the Cubs, maybe we could see him make an appearance. If Hendricks comes back and Hendricks sucks, there could be an opening. Although Assad's been throwing well, Talion's been throwing well, Imanaga, obviously, we're getting Steele back soon. So we may not see him, but keep it on your radar. It just takes one injury, and Horton could be up very soon because there's no doubt he's a better pitcher than Kyle Hendricks already. So keep Cade Horton on your radar. And that closes out my prospect report.
Well, before you fully close out the prospect report, I want to ask you about Jack Leiter, and I want to ask you about Jackson Holliday. So those two guys obviously come up, frustrating start, sent down. What's the vibe on them? Do we know when is there any projection on them coming back or anything? What are you hearing?
I'm not hearing too much about Leiter in particular. Jackson Holliday, I think, had a 3-hit day. Was it yesterday? So,
he just sucks at Major League Baseball. He's good at baseball still.
He's a quad A player, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
No, Holliday will come up
like Estevan Florial. He's basically Estevan Florial.
I waited for Florial for so long. I waited for him for so long.
He mashed in the minors. It was like, oh my God, this guy's hitting 600 in spring training. You have to bring him on the Major League roster. Then the Yankees would call him up. And then it's like, oh, well, here he is again, batting 036. And they jerked him around like they did with the redhead kid from Clint Frazier. Where they're starting him and then they're sitting him and they're starting him and sitting him. And it's like, this is a guy who's playing every day in the minors. So how much does that play into it? It sucked. But I'm kidding. Obviously, when I say Jackson Holliday is Estevan Florial, but at this point in his career, at the age of 19, he might be Estevan Florial.
So I haven't heard anything about Jack Leiter, but I'm assuming they'll give Jackson Holliday if he continues to hit like this a month, give him time to kind of get comfortable. Maybe around the All-Star break, a little before the All-Star break, I could see it. There's no reason to rush him right now. I think they're playing just fine. And it's kind of weird, right? We just saw Heston Kjerstad come up. And what does he come up to do? Nothing. He plays one game and then he doesn't play at all. Like, I get it. They do this, right? They did this with Colton Cowser last year and Westberg for a little while. I don't get why they do it, but they didn't seem to take that approach with Jackson Holliday. He came up and he played right away. And so if Holliday does come up again, I expect him to play right away because, again, he is going to be the best player on that team, maybe besides Gunnar Henderson, for a long time. And I haven't heard much about Jack. I think Jack Leiter, he's just going to have a few good starts. And if he does, the Rangers could really use the pitching right now. So he could be up.
Yeah.
But I just watch his starts.
Kierstead thing. The Kierstead thing is so weird. Like, and it's not like, again, we talk about this balance that the Orioles have where they're still trying to bring in all these young guys and develop them while they're an extremely competitive, arguably one of the best teams in baseball, right? Like the Phillies were the first to 20 wins. I think that the Orioles are right there also, right? So again, this is it's a weird thing. And by the way, the Yankees were the first to 10 wins. How's that working out for them, right? So they haven't been great since. Aaron Judge, I mean, my God. We can end on this. You still you talk about buy low, sell high. Do you buy Aaron Judge stock?
Depends on the price.
Another mailbag question.
What's the price? Who are you offering?
A lot. He's Aaron freaking Judge.
Okay, he's hitting 150, right, or 170.
Yeah, but if somebody's
injury prone,
somebody's like, "Hey, I'll give you Aaron Judge. Give me Juan Soto."
Oh, no way! What? Are you kidding me?
Okay, give me Matt Olson. Matt Olson for Aaron Judge. Who are you taking the rest of the year?
Probably Matt Olson.
All right, Corbin Burns, Aaron Judge. One's a pitcher. It's volatile. They get hurt.
Yeah, depends. In a vacuum, again, I didn't like Judge again to begin with. Again,
the numbers tell you that, okay, but that's because that's injury thing. The numbers would tell you that if the numbers truly even out, Aaron Judge should have a 500 on base the rest of the season. You know what I mean?
I'm curious what his underlying stuff is. I'm still probably leaning Burns, but that you're getting much closer. And if you look at his underlying Savant page, it is red. It is very average exit velocity, 97th percentile, barrel percentage, 84th percentile, hard hit, 93rd percentile. Maybe I am buying Aaron Judge a little bit. Super high, 16% walk rate is 96th percentile. We love to see that. Good plate discipline. Maybe I'm gonna go out and buy a share of Aaron Judge. See what I can get for him.
All right, so that's what we'll end it on. Buy Aaron Judge. That's what we're telling you. All right, until
for the
next
right
time,
price.
Look, I mean, if you talk about things evening out, I think Juan Soto will, stands to reason that Soto will come down a little bit and Aaron Judge is going to be ridiculous. So, that's why I said Juan Soto right away, not just because they're on the same team, it's top of mind, but, like I said, when you're talking about how good Juan Soto has been, and I do think Juan Soto has been, he hasn't been otherworldly in the sense that he can't keep this up. You know what I mean? He's been otherworldly in the sense that he's an otherworldly player, right?
Yeah.
But if Aaron Judge is going to be, make up for a month of sucking by having a 5-month run like we haven't seen, then still it would be better than Juan Soto. That's my point. And then also you have to consider the injury factor. It's an interesting thing. I hope he does turn around. I don't think it's nothing. Like you said, all his underlying numbers are really good. So that's good to hear. I wasn't sure about that, but Ronald Acuna or Aaron Judge rest of the year. All right, I'm kidding. So he can take Acuna. Yeah. All right. That'll do it for Vince. I'm Rami. We'll talk to you guys on Monday. See ya.